Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. It's hard not to feel sorry for niacinamide. Once the most popular ingredient on skincare planet Earth, in 2025, most of us are now actively avoiding niacinamide when it comes to our own skincare routine. Brands are reformulating their products to remove it from their collection, and a lot of the standalone niacinamide serums are disappearing from shelves. All of this has happened in a relatively short space of time, which has led a lot of people to question, why is this taking place? Well, we're going to talk about that in today's video. I've never actually been the biggest fan of niacinamide, but I don't think the problem is the ingredient itself. I think it's the way that it's presented to us and sold by the big brands, often overpromising and as a result under-delivering, leaving us underwhelmed when it comes to our own niacinamide experiences. I often feel as well that people don't really know how to use niacinamide correctly in order to maximize the benefits and minimize the side effects and irritation, which just leaves a lot of people with stressed out, irritated skin, not enjoying the benefits that they could potentially get. Well, today we're going to do a niacinamide 101, and I'm actually going to come to the defense of this ingredient, which might surprise a lot of you guys out there. I'm going to share with you how to choose a niacinamide serum, how to use it correctly in your skincare routine. So rather than just following the herd, we can take an educated approach to niacinamide in our routine and work out exactly how to use it. Sit back, relax, let's talk all things niacinamide. So niacinamide, it's actually a B vitamin which has been in our skincare routine for many, many years, but it became super popular around 5 years ago and brands just went mad. Every skincare brand on planet Earth had a niacinamide serum. They were doubling up our use of it by including it in every other one of their cleansers, serums, toners, moisturizers, you name it, it would have niacinamide in it. And I think the best seller of all was this, the ordinary niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1% solution. Reportedly, at one point, this was selling 25 million units a year. Let that sink in. That is so much niacinamide, and honestly it was really hard as a content creator that wasn't a particular fan of niacinamide to get that opinion across. I'd say it doesn't do much for my skin, and I'd be attacked relentlessly in the comments with, well, you're doing it wrong, it's amazing, niacinamide is the gold standard. It went on and on and on, and so it kind of shocks me to see in 2025 everyone's kind of done a full circle moment and now lots of people are actively avoiding niacinamide. Now, of course, there has been some changes in terms of our understanding of niacinamide in that period of time. We now know what concentrations work better, and of course, trends do peak and trough. Whilst niacinamide was super popular 5 years ago, those trends never continue, and so it was always going to be logical that that bubble would burst slightly. But I think we're going to first talk about what the main issues with niacinamide are, and then I'm going to share with you how to use it correctly if you still want to get that dose of niacinamide into your skincare routine. Mistake number one was the way that brands presented niacinamide has almost been an ingredient that did it all. If you read the list of claims that niacinamide could deliver, it was going to even out oil production in the skin, fade hyperpigmentation, boost the barrier function, be a potent antioxidant, it was going to boost collagen and elastin. Whatever it was, niacinamide was the go-to ingredient in order to claim it would deliver it. Honestly, that was never the case. Now, niacinamide has a range of different benefits, but I'd say it's one of those ingredients that does a lot of things, but none of them particularly well. Let me explain that in a bit more detail. So, niacinamide, in terms of hyperpigmentation treatment, does definitely work. There are studies to show that at the margins, niacinamide can help eradicate hyperpigmentation, but it doesn't do it particularly effectively. Used alongside other hyperpigmentation ingredients such as vitamin C, kojic acid, amazing. On its own, expecting niacinamide to shift your hyperpigmentation, you're always going to be disappointed because it's just not that effective. The same goes when it comes to being an antioxidant. Is niacinamide an antioxidant? Absolutely, protecting the skin from free radical damage, but is it the best antioxidant out there? Not really. You're best sticking with your pycnogenols, your vitamin C's, your other amazing antioxidants that just deliver a little bit better. I believe that niacinamide in moderation as part of a comprehensive skincare routine is absolutely wonderful, but expecting it to do everything with just one ingredient, you're just setting yourself up for failure. I think mistake number two is the obsession brands had with chasing percentages. A little bit of a theme here. The first two issues are all brand related. Not us the consumer, but the brands giving us the wrong information. So if you read any study into niacinamide, it shows it works best at between a 2 and a 5% concentration. So why then do we have products like this formulating with 10%? The Paula's Choice with 20%, Naturium did a 12%. Why were we all doubling or more the recommended amount of niacinamide? Well, it's because when a product is trendy, us, the consumer, our minds automatically think the best results are going to come from the highest percentage. Brands know this, so they think, okay, we'll take Naturium for an example. The Ordinary was already selling millions of units of their 10%, so Naturium thought, okay, let's come in and do a 12%. 2% more, that's going to catch the eye, people are going to move to us over the Ordinary. And of course, they did. But all they were really getting was extra irritation, sensitivity, and side effects. They weren't actually getting extra benefits. And I think that's been the biggest issue that people have had with niacinamide. It's stripped, it's dried, it's irritated, because they were using or being sold percentages way in excess of what we actually need. You go for a 5% niacinamide and it can add wonders to your routine. Start pushing it up to a 10% and that's where the problems start to hit. Now, issue number 3 is what I'm going to call compound usage. Now, this is where, because niacinamide at one point was in every single one of our steps in our skincare routine, we weren't just using a 10% niacinamide serum like this. We were using a 10% niacinamide serum, then maybe getting a 2% in our cleanser. We might be getting a 4% in a calming serum. We might be getting 5% in our sunscreen. And we were just using niacinamide on niacinamide on niacinamide, doubling the irritation, the sensitivity, the redness. And this is where I think a lot of people started saying, yeah, my skin is screaming, it's burning, it's irritated, it's inflamed. And they realized it was niacinamide. So rather than thinking, am I overdoing it? Immediately the mind just goes to, let's just cut it out. Get rid of it, remove it from our skincare routine. And that's why I think in 2025, we've had that full circle moment where everyone's now actively avoiding it. Instead, in moderation, I was somebody that always advocated for the use of niacinamide in just one of your skincare products. Get a 5% in a serum, get a 3% in a sunscreen or a touch in a moisturizer, but don't have it in every single step of your skincare routine, because that way you're just getting niacinamide on niacinamide, and that multiple layering is when you start to see sensitivity and irritation. This, again, I do blame the brands for, because they knew it was popular, so they snuck it into every single product, even when it didn't really make sense. I would say that niacinamide is best in a serum or in a sunscreen. It works really well to minimize the risk of sun-induced inflammation and hyperpigmentation. So it makes sense in a sunscreen, it makes sense in a serum. I don't think we need niacinamide in toners, moisturizers, essences, cleansers, lip balms, whatever. It just didn't really make sense to me. And again, I think the brands are kind of to blame for this. Now, all is not lost. I genuinely believe in 2025, niacinamide can play a key part in your skincare routine if you use it with moderation and know exactly how to. So in this section of the video, I just want to share a very quick lowdown of how to use niacinamide. First off, use it twice a day. It's fine to use it twice a day, you just don't have too much of it in each skincare routine. Moderation, twice a day, is definitely going to deliver you the best results. Also, only shop with a brand that discloses the percentage. Know what you're putting on the skin. If the studies tell us that we really want to be looking for something with a maximum niacinamide percentage of 5%, know what strength you're dealing with. If a brand won't disclose, walk on by. Nothing to see here. Make sure you're not using more than a 5% strength, because that's what the data shows is the most effective, minimum risk of side effects and irritation. Also, just be mindful of the number of products that contain niacinamide. Check the ingredients, you'll see it on there. If it is, try to limit it to 1 or maximum 2 products in any one routine that contain niacinamide. Also, don't overpay. It's a cheap ingredient. You don't need to be paying, Dr. Barbara Stern prices to get your niacinamide. It really isn't that expensive. And if brands want to price gouge, let them, but don't let us fall victim to that. Now, 2 products that I use consistently in my skincare routine that contain niacinamide are these 2. So this is the PSA Skin Heroin. It's a toner serum. I'd say it's more of a serum in terms of its consistency. Some people call it a toner, but it's a PSA Heroin twice a week. This is an exfoliating treatment that contains niacinamide. 4%, so a perfect concentration to use a couple of times a week, so you're getting the benefits of niacinamide without the risk of overdoing it. I love this because it's also got some great brightening ingredients and mandelic acid, which is one of the best exfoliators. This will smooth out the skin, get your glow game on point, and make sure that you're not missing out on niacinamide, but at the same time, you're not overdoing it. Once, twice a week is all you need with this, one of my favorite products. Daily, I'll go in with this. This is the Mad About Skin Protect and Hydrate sunscreen from my own skincare line. I actually incorporated a tiny amount of niacinamide in here because I think when you use it as part of a sun formulation, it will help enhance the hyperpigmentation fighting benefits of a sunscreen, minimize inflammation and sensitivity, and it has some great antioxidant properties alongside the other antioxidants in here. This is a formulation where it makes sense to have a little niacinamide, but again, we went in with a 1.5% strength, which is going to give you the benefits of it without the increase in side effects, sensitivity, and irritation. You don't need to have a sky-high amount of niacinamide to get the benefits. Use this, you'll barely know it's even on the skin, but you're getting that niacinamide fix in a controlled way in moderation. This is actually back in stock. It was out of stock for the longest time. It is back in stock, which I'll leave a link to it down below. I've also thrown in a cheeky discount code for you. And if you buy 2 or more of these, we still have a couple of our exclusive summer tote bags, which you'll get free if you put on order 2 or more of the sunscreens. So there you have it, guys, a rundown of niacinamide and how, okay, I didn't have it on my bingo card in 2025 to be the content creator that's coming to the defense of niacinamide. I've never been a fan, but I think in moderation, yes, it can deliver fantastic results, but just set your expectations right. It's not going to do it all. Choose the right concentration so you're not overdoing it, and make sure that we're not using multiple products that contain niacinamide, layering and compounding the issue. A little always goes a long way with niacinamide, and hopefully in today's video I've shared with you how to use it and a couple of my personal favourite products so you're not missing out. Let me know your thoughts, take part in that poll in the comment section, a tick if you love niacinamide, a cross if it's just not for you, so we can see where the opinions of the Mad About Skin community lie. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye!